Hello my beautiful beading friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Louisa. I know fall is just around the corner, but we still have a couple of warm days and opportunities to go to the beach. I'm actually going to go to the beach myself this weekend, so it's never too late to make some ocean inspired jewelry. And today we're going to be making some gorgeous anklets, and we're going to use the beads that came in the GGC Treasure Bag, which was released in June of this year. Now if you're not familiar with that bag, I'll leave some information down below in the description section of this video, along with a link to the website in case you're interested. And don't forget that I always model my jewelry at the end of my tutorials, so please stick around for that. Also, keep in mind that I leave timestamps down below in case you want to skip forward to any portion of the video. As you can see, these pretty ankle bracelets feature some sparkly beads and ocean-inspired charms. I'm going to show you step by step how to make them. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, hopefully you'll enjoy this tutorial. And I can't wait to show you how to make these, so let's get started. Here are the beads we're going to use for today's project. As you can see, I have 3 different configurations. These all came from the GGC Treasure Bag, which was released in June of this year. It was from the Summer Fun collection. There were 2 colorways, lemon, lime, and mint, and roses and lavender. Now, obviously, the seed beads did not come in that bag, and neither did these pearls. I believe the pearls came in the previous GGC Treasure Bag, which I think came out in April, and I think the name of it was Denim Days. But I chose them because I love that charm, and I thought they would coordinate really well with it. But anyway, as you can see, I have them laid out on my rods. And if you're curious about these rods, I carry them in my Etsy store. They're called magic rods. They measure 12 inches in length. But what's so nice about them is that I can lay out my beads just like this and have them up against each other so that I can get accurate measurements. Now you can do something similar with a beading board, but it's really difficult to line up seed beads so that they're up against each other. And believe it or not, it's much easier for me to pick up seed beads with these rods and then offload them straight to a piece of beading wire in multiples. So to me, it's kind of a time saver. But anyway, if you're interested in these rods, I'll leave a link to my Etsy store down below in the description section of this video. I'm also going to leave a description of all the beads, the dimensions, the colors, and everything, in case you didn't get this collection. I did do an unbagging video where I go into the details of the contents. If you haven't seen it, I'll link that down below as well. Basically, it's a limited edition. It's not a subscription, and it comes out every other month, in case you're wondering. But anyway, I don't want to get into it because I've already done that in the unbagging video. I just want to focus on this project today. So let me show you the beads. As you can see, I have size 80 seed beads on either side of the focal beads. And then I have a 4mm bead here, this metal bead. And then this first one, this transparent green one, is called a triangle bead. It measures 4 by 4.5 by 6 millimeters. And then I have 3 rondelles. I believe they measure 6.5 by 5 millimeters, something like that. And then I've got another triangle bead here at the end. And then my charm, which I think is so adorable. As you can see, it has rhinestones on the surface. And then on the left is a repeat of what's on the right. Let me show you this one. This one has size 80 seed beads as well. A 4mm metal bead here. Another triangle bead. A rondelle, triangle bead, rondelle, triangle bead, and then this gorgeous little dolphin charm, which is actually on a ball head pin, and I'm going to show you how to do that for those of you who don't know. And then on the left is a repeat of what's on the right. Now this one has gold size 80 seed beads because the back of this is gold, as you can see. And then I have the triangle bead here, 3 pearls, they measure 6 millimeters in size, triangle, and then the charm. And this charm is on a jump ring, and so is this one down here. Now let's talk about the size. What I recommend that you do is measure your ankle, and mine measure 8 3/4 inches, but I only have about 7.5 inches worth of beads. And the reason is that the clasp, the jump rings, and clamshell covers, we're going to use clamshell covers today. But anyway, those 3 things are going to add another 1.25 inches. So you definitely need to take that into account. And of course, the size of your jump rings matter. And sometimes clamshell covers come in different sizes as well. So what I recommend that you do is to put together a mock-up of the closure. And I have one here. I used nylon cord for this one. But as you can see, all of these findings are going to definitely add to the overall length of your ankle bracelet. So that's kind of important, guys, because you don't want your ankle bracelet to be too big. In fact, I'd rather have mine shorter than longer because I am going to add an extender chain. So let me show you how to mount that little dolphin bead. For those of you who are new to jewelry making, let me move these out of the way. That's another nice thing, I can transport them around very easily. The rods come in handy for that. I have a ball head pin, and here's another little dolphin bead. I'm simply going to slide it on like this. Using round nose pliers, I'm going to grab the pin at the top of the bead like this, bend it, reposition my pliers, wrap the tail around the nose of the pliers, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. So now I have a loop. I'm going to grab the loop with these pliers. I like using these because they have skinny tips. They're actually crimping pliers, but the tips are smooth and they grab really well. And with these pliers, I'm going to grab the tail and I'm going to create a couple of wraps. And of course now I need to cut off the excess pin using flush cutters. And always tuck the little tail in if you see it. So that's how you do this one. Very, very easy. And I know most of you already know how to do all these things, but I know I also have a lot of beginners watching my channel. So let me show you how to attach a jump ring to this charm. Here I have a jump ring. It's a little bit bigger than the one I have on the rod, but I just want to show you how to do this. You're going to grab it like this, and you're going to open it this way. You don't want to open it that way, because that'll distort the jump ring. And now you simply slide it in like this, and you close it the exact same way. Always check it from all angles to make sure it's closed properly. And that's how you do that one. Very, very simple. Let me put them off to the side. Let's go ahead and string this one. I'm going to use 7-strand beading wire today, and this one measures 0.018 of an inch in diameter, or 0.46 millimeters, and it is in a gold color, but I'm not too concerned because you're not going to see it once the beads are strung on. Of course, if you have silver beading wire, I recommend you use that. I chose this one because it was the only 7-strand beading wire that I had. I like to use 7-strand for ankle bracelets because it actually doesn't drape as much as 49-strand. I don't want my ankle bracelet to drape, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to cut myself a 10-inch piece. I am going to attach a clip at this end so I don't lose my beads, just like that. And now to offload from the rod, I'm going to slide this little stopper off and grab several seed beads at a time and slide them directly onto my beading wire, just like that. Very quick and easy. Much easier than trying to pick up one seed bead at a time with beading wire. It's much easier to pick it up with a rod. So let me keep stringing these on. Okay, my beads are strung on, and now we're going to crimp off the ends. Here I have 2 crimp tubes and 2 clamshell covers. We're going to slide on one of the clamshell covers first. As you can see, I'm going in from the bottom like this. And now a crimp tube. Like that. And now using my flat nose pliers, I'm going to grab that tube, make sure it's centered on that wire, and I'm going to squeeze it. And I do like to squeeze it from both sides like this. And now I'm simply going to trim off the end. Slide my clamshell cover up. Grab it, close it, and now I want to bend this piece of metal back, like so. Using my round nose pliers, I'm going to grab the end, and I'm going to form a loop. See how easy that was? It doesn't get any easier than that. And for those of you who are worried about the clamshell cover, don't be, because that crimp tube is on there pretty good. It's not going to go anywhere. Of course, if you're nervous about it, you could add a little dab of glue inside the clamshell cover, but I've never had any trouble with it. And I don't know about you, but have you ever tried to remove a crimp tube once it's been flattened? It's next to impossible, trust me. So now let me go ahead and do this end. I do want to open this clamshell cover up to make it a little bit easier at this end. And I don't know if you can hear the plastic rustling in the background. That's my cat. He's climbing all over my stuff right now. So I'm going in from the bottom, and I'm going to grab a tube, bring it down. Let me grab it with my pliers. As you can see, I'm holding the beading wire like this to make sure that the tube is inside the clamshell. And now I'm going to squeeze. Turn it around and do this side. Cut off the excess. Let me close up the clamshell cover now. And now I'm going to bend this piece of metal back. Grab it with my round nose pliers and form a loop. So that side's done. Here's an extended chain. I'm not going to use the whole thing though. I'm only going to use about half the lengths. I don't like my extended chains to be too long for ankle bracelets. And I do want to embellish it. So let me do that first. Here I have a triangle bead on a ball head pin. I'm going to grab it with my round nose pliers like this. Bend it. Reposition my pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, whoops, wrap to the back. Let me open up this loop, slide my extended chain into it, like so, grab it, grab the tail and do some wraps. I need to stop having coffee in the mornings because I always end up shaky. Or at least I should film at a different time of the day. So now let me go ahead and trim off the pin. Tuck the little tail in. And these links are actually open links, they're not soldered. So I'm not going to use my cutters, I'm just going to open one up. And like I said, I think I'm going to give myself 5 links. So I'm going to open up this one. Let me make sure I have 5 links. I guess I could have decaffeinated coffee too, right? That would definitely help. Here I have 2 4mm jump rings and a lobster clasp. Let me open up a jump ring. Slide my clasp into it. Slide this end of the ankle bracelet into it as well. And close up the jump ring. You do want to make sure you close your jump rings really well whenever you're working with clamshell covers. And check it from all angles. Because the loop on the clamshell cover is very thin and it could slide out if there's a gap. Let me open up this one now. Slide my chain into it. And this end. Close it up. And that's all there is to it. Super easy. And very, very cute. I love it. So now I'm going to string these two. And since you've already seen me how I did this one, I'm not going to do it again because it's the same thing over and over. So let me go ahead and do these off camera and then I'll show you the finished bracelets. So I'll see you in a few moments. Well, here are my finished ankle bracelets. And aren't they adorable? I did change the bead pattern on this one a little bit. I swapped out some of the green ones with the rosaline colored ones. And as you can see, all three have extended chains that I've gone ahead and embellished. But anyway, guys, I hope you like these ankle bracelets as much as I do, and I hope you can make your own. And of course, I'm going to put them on to show you what they look like. So please stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.